Hi guys, what are we gonna do today? Can you guess? We're gonna take this and we're gonna turn it into this. Let's get started. So I'm gonna be using the 6-inch paper mache egg. You could use a different shape or size or whatever you would like. I'm gonna use some of my decoupage paper. I didn't wanna do Easter eggs. I wanted to do industrial eggs and patriotic eggs. So what I'm gonna do is just cut about 1 inch to 1.5 inch strips. So if your egg is bigger, you probably want a little bit bigger strips like these. If you're using a very, very small egg, you might want your pieces closer to 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna start with this. And I am just using a Mod Podge. You can use any type of a decoupage medium that you would like. Find a container that your egg can set in. And I know this is gonna be right around half of the strip, so I am just going to rip that. And I have a piece of parchment paper here with a small brush. I am just going to coat my Mod Podge over that. Go to the center bottom, go to the center top, and then just press this in. Now, if your strips are way too big, you're gonna have a lot of wrinkling in there. That's why you don't want them too big. A little bit is fine, because we're gonna be overlapping. I'm going to do around one way, and then I'm going to go around this way, and then I'm going to go in between those. So you're gonna have little gaps in there. If you have a piece that's way too long, you can just rip the excess off, or you can just bring it around and overlap. And like here, I'm just going to rip a piece of that off. Now I'm going in the center here. I like to use a plastic bag to smooth it out. For these tiny areas, I'm just going to just cut strips in half and fill them in. Okay, so I have done my beginning stage here. I'm also going to iron this down, and I'll show you how I do that. Is take a clean piece of parchment paper and put it over my egg. And I don't want steam on this. I just want to smooth it out. And you can really see when you do it, it really does help smooth it out. You just want to be careful. You don't want to rip your paper. A smaller iron would probably be easier for this, but this is what I've got. So your iron's very hot, so you need to be really, really careful if you're going to do that. I'm using this decoupage paper, and I really like this bird element. And I can still use the rest of the paper for some more decoupage, so I don't mind cutting this out. I'm just gonna cut this out just a little bit closer. Not too close, but just a little bit. Because an element this big is gonna be really tough on a curved surface, so you wanna cut out what you don't need. So I'm going to decoupage this onto this lighter off-white paper. So I'm just cutting out a thin border so it gives it contrast when I put it onto the egg. But the bigger your element gets, I said, the harder it's going to be to get on there. So I'm going to just cut a real thin border around it. Now, when I start putting this down, if I need to, I can make small little slits, and they'll overlap a little bit. But you really want to try to get it as smooth as you can. And you can see the bigger it is, the harder it's going to be. But I do have a lot of long skinny areas, so that's going to help. So I'm going to push this on there right now, and we'll see if we need to slit anything. So I'm going to iron this down to make it just a little bit smoother. So now I'm just going to seal it. You could use waxes on here. You could use a polyacrylic on here. You can really use any type of a sealer you would like. You don't actually even have to because it is paper, but this will just keep it a little bit more durable. And you might need to do one side, let it dry, and then do the other unless you have a stand to put it on. So I hope you guys thought this was fun. Really, really easy. So this is the paper you saw me use for this egg. It's a very industrial type. And this one right here, I used 3 of the blocks from this for these front eggs. So I hope you guys give this a try. But whatever you do, have fun.